89 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Before the game, Rodgers was asked about Richard Sherman. Said, he says he gets bored on that side. No one wants to throw the ball his way. Rodgers did not take that challenge. The cornerback is on the defense now.
This is the Seattle Seahawks. They're a great defense. You don't expect to be able to move the ball effectively every down, every drive, but yeah, you got to score more points. And whether it's at the line of scrimmage or 5 yards down, past line of scrimmage, those guys come up and make tackles. I mean, we didn't break a lot of tackles. We didn't have a lot of explosive gains in the passing game or the running game, and we had too many penalties.
All right, so we're giving out grades. We want to talk about that bad man. Overall, what grade did you give Aaron Rodgers? Stephen A., it's for you.
I give Aaron Rodgers an F.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
A failing grade. Not because of his numbers. They're relatively pedestrian. Again, 23 of 33, 189 yards. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the fact that they lost 36-16. It has everything to do with the fact that the guy that I consider to be the best quarterback in the game of football, in terms of his talent, his accuracy throwing the football, his athleticism, his ability to evade and run out of the pocket and move the chains, I think as a quarterback, he is the total package. And I saw a guy that I consider to be the best quarterback in the game run away from Richard Sherman. Not one attempt.
Not one.
Not one to the right side of the field where Richard Sherman is on that island. Not one attempt. Nothing. I do not want to hear about Mike McCarthy, the head coach, calling the plays. I don't want to hear it. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. I consider him the best. Others would say he's one of the best. You go up to your coach and you talk about how you want to be a bit versatile. You want to open the field up. You want to sit in, you want to go. You don't want to be limited to anything. And, Skip, I bring baseball into the equation as a comparison. If Barry Bonds, who you covered, if Barry Bonds, the great Barry Bonds, was at the plate, and you, as I have seen him intentionally walked on many occasions.
Many occasions.
You ever saw Randy Johnson intentionally walk him? Could you imagine Roger Clemens walking him? Would you think about the elite pitchers in the history of the game of baseball intentionally walking an elite hitter? No, because this is what it's all about, baby. And I'm looking at Richard Sherman over there. He's been telling everybody he's one of the best. He validated it last year. He deserves every penny of what he got in the offseason with his $57 million contract. He still hasn't changed. He's still there, all right, on the left side of the defense for the Seattle Seahawks, daring you to come his way, telling the world he's bored, telling the world he wants to be challenged. And the best, in my opinion, is coming to town and doesn't even look at you for the entire night. Now, I understand there's only 26 minutes of offense that the Green Bay Packers had in terms of times of possession. Had about 8 penalties for 65 yards. I get all of that. But I just looked at Aaron Rodgers and I was like, really? I cannot believe, and I don't believe that would have happened with Tom Brady. I do not believe. I think Peyton Manning tried. He just wasn't successful. I thought when New England lost to Seattle a couple of years ago, Tom Brady tried. He just wasn't successful.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers did not throw one pass in Richard Sherman's direction. And to me, that is just, and we all know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, you love him.
Right? That is just cowardly.
Okay.
Oof.
That's
a strong word.
And listen. I watch the game. I've been watching the game all my life, but I don't sit here and pretend to be some aficionado. I understand that Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers have more knowledge about football in their pinky than I do. But I know what I saw.
Okay.
And it was cowardly I know Mike McCarthy calls it, and I know he had a lot to do with it, but you are Aaron Rodgers. If you went over to that coach and told him you wanted to attack, he would have done it. I'm putting this on Aaron Rodgers, man. It's a flat-out F. I was very disappointed.
Well, we weren't going to bring up this tweet, but since he went there and he gave Aaron Rodgers an F, we got to talk about the tweet Richard Sherman just sent out. Well, not just, but about 8 hours ago. It said, when you are great, you make your opponent adjust to you. You don't adjust to suit them. Again, when you are great, you make your opponent adjust to you. You don't adjust to suit them.
And by the way,
that quote is a slight paraphrase of a quote in Tim Grover's book, Relentless.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure, because I know that they were all the defense was given those books, Relentless, this year. So I'm assuming Richard read the book because it's a great book.
Yep.
So it's a paraphrase, but it's a powerful paraphrase of that quote. And look, I kid you about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm going to be serious now. He's clearly in my top 4 quarterbacks. And I was just disappointed in him last night because truly, from my heart, I went into the game at 8:30. I'm sitting up on my couch, man, ready for this to happen because I thought Aaron Rodgers was just cocky enough, just supremely confident enough that his game plan would be, we're going to attack the best because we think we're better than the best, to get back to Richard Sherman's tweet and quote. And I was dumbfounded that they lined up little boykins over there all night and just said, we give up, man. We're just going to play half the field over here. We're going to go at Jeremy Lane till he pulled his groin, or we're going to go at whoever, anybody but this guy. It's wrong because it sends the wrong message to your locker room. Your whole team is thinking, we're not good enough to beat them, especially at this place, at this hour of the night. And I'm not giving, I was doing A-Raj is going to be C-Raj in my book for this game. I'm going to give him a C because, again, he made some throws that were pretty good. There were a lot of dink and dunk throws, but he did lead Jordy Nelson a little too far on the one pass that got tipped up into the interception. It just wasn't it wasn't vintage Aaron Rodgers kind of throw. Then my other issue with him, and we'll get back to not going at Richard Sherman, but on the 2 whiffs by the new right tackle, the backup tackle, they were from his front side, his vision side. And we're always talking, or at least I'm always hearing about how athletic Aaron Rodgers is, how mobile he is. Well, you can see that guy coming. You can see Cliff Averill on the ill-fated 4th down. If you're that good, you make him miss, or you get rid of the ball.
He could have got the first down.
Okay, somehow.
And threw it.
Okay.
And threw it instead.
Yes.
Okay, you're kind of closing up deer in headlights a little bit. And then on the Michael Bennett sack, the strip fumble for the safety, you can see him. He kind of ducked inside from him. But I don't know. That's not the Aaron Rodgers that I've come to respect. I just thought it was a poor performance on his part, but I'm going to give him a C because he did some good
But the reason why I refuse to give him the C is that, like you said, Aaron Rodgers making a couple of terrific throws is par for the course.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what he does.
Yeah.
And if he had a bad game, so what? He had a bad game. I'd sit here, skip, and say he had a bad game. That's all. But the reason why I give the F is because the best, one of the best in the game in the eyes of many, the best in the game in my eyes, didn't even try to challenge the best on the opposite side of the ball. I mean, that's a big, big deal to me. One of the reasons why, listen, we talk about Marshawn Lynch, okay? But they talk about beast mode when they mention Marshawn Lynch. You know what beast mode really, really means? I'm coming. I'm coming. It doesn't matter who's on the opposite side of the ball. I'm coming. Get ready because trust you me, I'm not scared. You better get ready. I'm coming with it. And to me, it's like that was the first time in my career of talking about Aaron Rodgers that I sat there and I said, I can't call him the bad man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, you're not even going to challenge Richard Sherman? You're not going to try? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? I mean, it's a 17-10 game at the half. You lucky they didn't score to end the half, and then they got the ball first in the second half. They could have put the game away. You stopped them on both possessions. You still had an opportunity to make things happen. But it's like, listen, I just looked at it and I said, my Lord, man, I expect this. I've never in my wildest dreams thought that I would see Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy scared to attack a complete side of a field. I never thought in my wildest dreams I would see that.
Last quick point. Who was the greatest cornerback ever in everybody's estimation?
Prime time.
Thank you very much.
Prime time.
The most fascinating game I ever witnessed and also attended was the NFC Championship game at the end of the 1994 season at San Francisco.
That's right,
when
Jerry
the Cowboys,
Rice.
No, but the Cowboys fell behind 21-0 and had to throw it at Deion. Michael Irvin versus Deion Sanders, best friends. head-to-head, nose-to-nose, and Aikman just said, I'm going to throw it to him every time. And guess what?
Yep.
Michael won a bunch of the battles. Deion won his share. But the Dallas Cowboys almost came back and won the football game because they just said, we are going to go at the greatest because we think our guy's pretty good too, Michael Irvin.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you talking about when Dallas lost the NFC Championship?
Yeah, they lost,
Barry
but they
Switz's
almost.
first year.
That is Barry Switz's first year. Thank you. But again, that was greatness against greatness.
Right.
Do they not think?
But let me tell you what. But let me tell you why. And that brings up something because I might have dropped the ball here. I can't just blame Aaron Rodgers now. I got to look at the receivers too. Okay. Because let me tell you something. When you think about Michael Irvin, you trying to tell me that Michael Irvin didn't go to Switzer and then go to Aikman? Throw me the damn ball.
Yeah.
Throw me the damn. You know how Michael Irvin is.
You think Jordy Nelson did that last night?
No, I don't.
No, he didn't do it.
Did he get paid this year?
He got paid big time. And Randall Cobb's trying to get paid.
All right. So Skip Bayless says, what message does that send to your locker room?
Well, I'm just saying he's making a valid point because Michael Irvin, who was kind enough to come on my radio show yesterday, Michael Irvin, the playmaker, Skip's coming. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, you don't have to even ask him. You know, based on his personality alone, he said, "Give me the damn ball.
Yeah, no,
throw it over
but
here."
Stephen A. Skip said, what message does that send to your locker room? That this bad man is afraid of one side of the field. What message is he sending?
Well, the message that it sends to the locker room is that you didn't believe you could get it done. And who would have ever thought that Aaron Rodgers, the great Aaron Rodgers, wouldn't believe he could get it done against somebody? I could not believe what I was seeing. Like I said, I think it's appropriate just for this particular game. Because you know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. But it was very cowardly of him not to attack Richard Sherman.
Friend of our
him
show,
and McCarthy.
Bobby Wagner says everyone's afraid.
Yep, they do.
It's looking
And by the way, I can't wait to hear Darren Woodson's take on this later in the show.
We will discuss this again, why, in fact, the greatest, the baddest man decided